Victor Hayes stood in the restaurant parking lot, phone in hand, reading the text message for the third time. Sorry, can't make it tonight. Don't think this is going to work out. His blind date had canceled. Again, he was 43 years old, successful beyond measure, and somehow still alone. His assistant had set up this dinner, insisting he needed to get back out there after his divorce 2 years ago. But standing here in his tailored suit watching the sunset, Victor wondered if maybe he was meant to be alone. He looked back at his car, the silver sedan gleaming in the fading light. He should just go home, order takeout, watch something mindless on television. That had become his routine. Work all day, go home to an empty house, sleep, repeat. But something made him pause. Across the parking lot, near the edge where the pavement met the grass, he saw them, a woman sitting on the curb, her dark hair falling forward as she held her face in her hands. Next to her stood 2 children, a boy who looked about 7 and a girl maybe 5. The little girl had her hand on her mother's shoulder, trying to comfort her. Victor's first instinct was to mind his own business. People had problems. It was not his place to interfere. But then he heard the little boy's voice carry across the parking lot. Mom, please don't cry. We can go home. We don't need to eat here. The woman lifted her head. Even from a distance, Victor could see she had been crying. I'm sorry, sweetie. Mama just needs a minute. Something in her voice reminded Victor of his own mother. Years ago, when his father left and money was tight, he remembered nights when she thought he was asleep, sitting at the kitchen table crying over bills she could not pay. Before he knew what he was doing, Victor was walking toward them. As he got closer, he could see the woman more clearly. She was in her mid-30s, wearing a simple black dress that looked like it had been carefully chosen for a special occasion. Her children were dressed nicely, too. The boy in a button-down shirt, the girl in a dress with sparkles on it. Excuse me, Victor said gently, stopping a respectful distance away. I don't mean to intrude, but is everything all right? The woman looked up, startled. She quickly wiped her eyes. Yes, we're fine. Thank you. But her voice said otherwise, and the way her daughter held on to her arm said otherwise. Victor glanced at the restaurant entrance, then back at the family. I have a reservation in there. A table for 2, actually. My dinner companion canceled on me, and I hate eating alone. Would you and your children like to join me? The woman stared at him like he had spoken a foreign language. What? No, we couldn't. Please, Victor said. I'm not trying to be forward or inappropriate. I just noticed you seemed upset, and I have this table in a waste, and those kids look hungry. He smiled at the children. What do you say? Do you like pasta? The little girl's eyes lit up. I love pasta. The boy was more cautious, moving closer to his mother protectively. We don't know you. You're absolutely right, Victor said. That's very smart. My name is Victor Hayes. I work in finance downtown. I'm completely harmless, I promise. Your mom can keep her phone out the whole time if it makes everyone more comfortable. The woman, whose name tag from work still pinned to her dress read Lillian, looked at her children's faces, then down at her empty wallet she had been clutching. Victor could see the calculation happening behind her eyes. Pride versus hunger. Independence versus need. Why would you do this? Lillian asked quietly. You don't know us. Victor thought about lying, about giving some easy answer. But there was something about this woman's direct gaze that demanded honesty. Because 25 years ago, my mother sat on a curb like this with me and my little sister. A stranger helped us that night, bought us dinner at a diner, didn't ask questions, didn't make us feel small, just helped. I've never forgotten it. Lillian's eyes filled with tears again, but she blinked them back. We can't pay you back. I'm not asking you to. She looked at her children again. The little girl was holding her stomach. The boy was trying to be brave, but Victor could see the hunger in his eyes, too. "Okay," Lillian said finally. "Thank you. Just dinner. And then we go." "Just dinner," Victor agreed. 20 minutes later, they were seated in a booth by the window. The children's eyes were wide as they looked at the menu. Victor watched as Lillian guided them toward the less expensive items, and he gently intervened. "Order whatever you want," he said. "Seriously, when's the last time you had a night out?" Lillian's smile was sad. "About 6 months. Before my hours got cut at work." The story came out slowly over dinner. Lillian worked as a nursing assistant at a senior care facility. She loved the work, but the pay was barely enough. Her ex-husband had left 3 years ago and sent no support. Tonight was supposed to be her daughter Sophie's birthday dinner. Lillian had been saving for weeks. But this morning her car needed an unexpected repair that took the last of her money. "I had already promised Sophie," Lillian said quietly, while the kids were distracted with their food. "I couldn't break my promise. So I brought them anyway, thinking maybe I could order them something small to share and just watch them eat. But when we got here and I looked at the prices, I just broke down. What kind of mother promises her child a birthday dinner and can't deliver? The kind who is doing her best in impossible circumstances," Victor said. "The kind who shows up even when it's hard. That's the kind of mother you are." Lillian looked at him with surprise, as if no one had said anything kind to her in a very long time. As dinner continued, Victor found himself genuinely enjoying the company. Sophie told him about her favorite cartoons. Her brother Jake explained in great detail about the science project he was working on. And Lillian, as she relaxed, revealed a sharp wit and a warmth that had been hidden under layers of stress. When the dessert menu came, Sophie's eyes went straight to the chocolate cake. "It's your birthday," Victor said. "You have to have cake. With candles." Sophie asked hopefully. Victor called the waiter over and arranged everything. 10 minutes later, the staff brought out a chocolate cake with candles while singing Happy Birthday. Sophie's face lit up brighter than the candles themselves. As the little girl made her wish and blew out the candles, Lillian reached across the table and squeezed Victor's hand. "Thank you," she whispered. "You didn't have to do any of this." "I know," Victor said, "but some things you do not because you have to, but because you can." As they finished dessert, Victor excused himself to use the restroom. On the way, he stopped by the host stand and quietly paid the bill, along with adding a generous tip. He also slipped the hostess $500 in cash. "The woman at my table," he said, "when they leave, please give her this. Tell her it's a birthday gift for her daughter. Don't tell her it's from me. Just say it's from a friend." When he returned to the table, the children were talking excitedly about their favorite parts of dinner. Lillian was smiling, really smiling, for the first time that evening. "We should probably go," she said. "We've taken up enough of your time." "It was my pleasure," Victor said honestly. "Thank you for keeping a lonely man company on a Friday night.